Oh, yeah. Just ahead of Ross Tucker, our guest today, sponsored by Basant Motors. Basant Motors is turning the big 3-0, and they are ready to celebrate with some amazing deals. Find out more at basantmotors.com as we bring in Ross Tucker from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast and Westwood One. How are you, sir, on this Monday?
I'm doing great, Donnie. How you doing, buddy?
Very well, very well. I think the question everybody's asking is, what is Gulden's mustard?
You've never heard of Golden's mustard?
I haven't. I honestly, I haven't. I saw your tweet yesterday. It got my curiosity up. Never heard of it.
Okay, so it is my preferred and the best mass-produced spicy brown mustard in the United States. I didn't know it hadn't made its way to Canada as of yet, or at least to British Columbia. It is absolutely delicious. It is the mustard that should be used in all instances in which a mustard should be used. Yes, even a soft pretzel or a hot dog. There is not a known situation I'm aware of where regular yellow mustard is preferable to spicy brown. It's delicious. I could just squirt it into my mouth like this while I'm talking to you guys.
Don't do that.
Anyway, I kind of like it.
Okay, it cuts the mustard. Okay, Tom Brady, a lot to talk about. Tom Brady with over 600 touchdown passes now. First quarterback to do that, to reach the 600 mark plus. You played with him. What impressed you the most when you played with him?
His commitment and attention to detail, for sure. He cares about the little things more than any other guy I ever played with. I mean, I might have told you this story before, Donnie, but 18 years of playing football, never met a guy that cared as much about the snap. I was a center. I played center guard. I would snap the ball to Brady in practice sometimes, and he would get in the huddle and be like, all right, Ross, you and me, great snap first. And I'd be like, okay, Tom, okay, in my head, right? I didn't say that out loud, but he really cared that much. Everybody else, every other quarterback, you're like, the snap is just like something, it's like the most mundane, boring, routine thing. Not the Tom. Like he wanted a perfect snap every time. He was mad if it wasn't a perfect snap. In his psycho head, that perfect snap gave him a split second more to look at the defense, throw the ball, whatever. And I, by the way, I say psycho as a term of endearment.
Yes. Wouldn't that attention to detail get on the nerves of some players, other teammates?
Not really.
No.
I think because he's so well liked, because he has so much success, I think if anything, it just kind of rises your level of attention to detail. It's crazy. The guy's been playing over 20 years. I've yet to hear from one guy that played with him say a negative thing about him. Like, that's not the case with Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers, some of these other guys. There's always ex-teammates that say whatever about these guys. Not Brady. I mean, you won't find a guy to say anything bad about him. He's also just an awesome guy. He's very friendly. He's one of the guys, believe it or not. But that attention to detail, I am convinced that one of the reasons why the Bucs are more successful now and the Patriots are not is because of the Brady accountability factor, which is essentially you just don't want him to get mad at you. Like, you don't want to screw up and feel like you let him down. And I think the Patriots lost that and the Bucs got it.
Ross, let's move over to the Chiefs. They're 3-4. Patrick Mahomes, 11 turnovers. I saw one of your tweets. What's going on there? Everyone's got a take on why they're struggling. What's yours?
Well, so first of all, the defense has really dropped off. I will say this, though, Rick, this is one of your better questions because it's not like – no, but like most times when a team like this drops off, right, you can say – well, Rick, they've had a lot of tough injuries. Not the case with the Chiefs. Yeah. Or, well, they lost this guy and that guy to free agency because they got more money. Also not the case with the Chiefs. Like, that's not the deal. They have all the guys they want. They have all their normal guys. The defense has taken a big step back. I don't have a great explanation as for why that is. And then the offense, people have realized the best way to play against them is to have the two deep safeties, don't give up the big play, force them to stay patient. And Mahomes knows how bad his defense is, so he's been unable to stay patient. I mean, I think it's as simple as that.
Seahawks Saints Monday nighter. Seahawks have not been good in prime time this year. They are also 0-2 at home for the first time in 24 years. Ross, what's going on there?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Wow, Rick, you actually have a stat I like too.
He's hot.
What is going on?
It's called
Rick asked
research.
a good question and had a real stat. Donnie, are you giving him like questions to ask and stats?
No, I just squirted some Gulden's mustard into his mouth.
It's called
hot.
Nice.
Ross, it's called research. I put the time in and the effort in. You know that.
It's about time.
Yeah, I don't really believe that. By the way, do you guys not have Rick? Rick has to answer this question. Rick, do you guys not have spicy mustard?
No. Why?
What? No. In Canada, yeah, we do.
Yeah, spicy.
I just haven't heard of that brand. I'm looking at its Wikipedia. This is what I do. It's Wikipedia page. Third largest American manufacturer of mustard.
Wow.
Behind French's and Grey Poupon.
There you go.
Anyway,
Yeah, but it's way better than the other two. Way better. Well, we won't talk about the spicy mustard in Canada until we get a Canadian spicy mustard sponsor. As for your Seahawks question, Rick, I don't really know. It has felt like in recent years, the home field advantage in Seattle is not what it used to be. I don't really know why that is. I think it's still loud and the 12th man and the whole deal, but I think it coincided probably with guys like Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman no longer being there. The D-line, Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill. I think the noise greatly helps when you've got a defensive line that can take advantage of the snap count advantage that the offense loses. And the Seahawks just haven't had that for a while.
of course, the crowds haven't been there with the pandemic as well. They just started coming back, so there's that. But you're right, and Pete Carroll has talked about that as well. Okay, the Bengals. I saw your tweet about this. You're a believer in the Cincinnati Bengals, who went to 5-2 yesterday.
Yeah, I wish I would have gone harder with it last week because I was a believer last week. I really thought the way they played the Packers, losing in overtime, I thought the game in Detroit would be a classic letdown spot. I actually told people on my Even Money podcast, the betting one, to take the Lions and the points. That didn't go real well. The Bengals obliterated the Lions. I just thought it was such a mature win. I thought it was a very impressive, mature. It just felt like the old Bengals, that would be the game they would lose. We tried hard against the Packers, and then you lose to the Lions next week. Nope. And then they come out. I think you can make an argument it was the single most impressive win of the season so far. I mean, the Ravens were number one seed in the AFC. The Bengals go there and annihilate them on both sides of the ball. I am thoroughly impressed. The O-line's gotten better. The defense is much better. And I'm not sure there's very many skill groups that you would say you would take over what the Bengals have right now over the next 5 to 10 years because they're young too.
When you say the most impressive result of the year, are you talking about the Bengals or the entire NFL?
Entire NFL.
Wow.
Yeah, entire NFL. I mean, there's some other really impressive wins as well, but you go to Baltimore and beat them 41-17. Everybody knew it was a big game. The Ravens had won 5 in a row. You beat them up front, both sides. I mean, that's really, really impressive.
Ross, outstanding as always. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Sounds great. See you, dudes.
You bet.
All right.
Ross Tucker of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast and Westwood One, and you mentioned it, Rick. Seahawks Monday Night Football
Saints.
up against the Saints 11 years after Beastquake and really the rise of the Seahawks under Pete Carroll.
They were 7-1 at home last year, and right now they have started 0-2, and I don't know what's going on with that home field advantage.
Well, I think Ross just touched on it. The talent isn't there, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Swagger,
like it used to be.
Those guys like he mentioned, Richard Sherman, they held you accountable. I mean, that defense right now, ouch.
2-4. Our thanks to Ross Tucker. Take a break now. Donnie Dolly, the team on check.
Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by AbleAuctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.